The ancient town of Blagaj near Mostar bears witness to a turbulent and rich history of this region, more than any other in Bosnia. The region settled in 7000 BC and was home to the Neolithic humans whose signs are still visible in the Green Cave. Many years later, the Illyrians were replaced by Romans and a fortress was built on the ruins of their settlement during the reign of the Emperor Justinian. The Emperor, Constantine Porphyrogne, mentioned the fortress in his documents as the settlement of Bona. Besides historical, there are numerous natural phenomena in Blagaj. The most famous one is the spring of the Buna, one of the biggest and strongest springs in Europe, with a water flow of 43,000 litres a second. On the very spring of the river, named after a giant being in love with nature, there is one of the oldest dervish monasteries in Bosnia-Herzegovina. The tekje of the Halvet dervish order acts very impressively with a huge rock which hangs over it so that the raindrops never fall directly on the tekje. The tekje was founded after the fall of Herzegovina under the Turkish reign in 1466, and there are even more clues that it was founded by a famous Turkish sheikh, Sari Satluk. The inhabitants of Blagaj have been connected with the tekje and nature around it in a very special way. They believe that no one who deliberately fishes from the lake which the tekje reflects in will not be saved from misfortune, and he'll be finally hanged. The abundance of greenery, water and the sun presents an ideal place for a pleasant stay and vacation throughout the whole year. A favourable climate has created a natural domicile for birds, with 169 species of birds, and the inhabitants of Blagaj are especially proud of hawks and eagles from the family of griffon vultures, which settle the hollow, red and craggy rocks which rise to the blue sky, as a famous Bosnian chronicle, Evlija Čelabija, used to write. Everything began in 1951, in Tito's time, when a little fish pond with a spawning place was made about 200 metres from the spring of the Buna. Its function was the raising and preserving of Blagaj's endemic fish species. It was a hard pioneer duty for the fishermen, who performed all the activities manually, and they are the ones we have to thank for the development of fishing in this region. They contributed to the fact that nowadays we have a big and prosperous fishing company. In time, the fish pond expanded its capacity. In 1974, it got an additional 6,000 square metres of space, which enabled the production of 7 species of salmon. Since then, we've insisted on raising our fish ecologically. Therefore, we supply the fish pond, built a half a kilometre downstream from the Buna spring, with the clean spring water through the underground piping. First, facilities for food storage as well as the freezing compartments for fish were built in this area. In 1987, the first cage raising of the Californian trout, carp and sheatfish was installed on the artificial lake of Salakovac. In 2 years, we already had over 220 cages. All of that enabled the fishing industry of Blagaj to take the first place in the development of freshwater fish culture in the former Yugoslavia. Since June 2000, the fishing industry of Blagaj has beamed as a new company, Norfish Blagaj, thanks to the investment of a Norwegian company, Norwegian Balkan Invest. That enabled us to educate the complete personnel, from fishing workers to the management personnel, in the best Norwegian companies. Norway is the leading country in producing, raising, processing and disposing of fish and fish products across the world. All the facilities have been renovated, the workers have improved working conditions, and the raising technology completely satisfies European standards. The fish farm of Salakovac has one of the best fish processing technologies in Europe today. This technology is the first one in the Balkans. Norfish Blagaj takes the first place in producing, processing and distributing fish in Bosnia-Herzegovina. By building a modern factory for fish processing, we have got new opportunities to present our products both on the domestic and foreign markets. The factory was built according to Norwegian standards, which are in keeping with the ecological standards of the European Union. Connecting domestic knowledge and skills of 40 years and modern Norwegian technology, we are able to respond to all market demands. The facilities of Norfish are situated on 3 locations. In Blagaj, 200 metres from the Buna Spring, there is a modern spawning place where the newest Norwegian accomplishments in producing roe and young fish are applied. The actual annual capacity of this spawning place amounts to 9 million pieces. In Blagaj too, there are concrete ponds with an annual capacity of 250 tonnes of fish that weigh from 200 to 300 grams. On the Neretva River, on the M17 road in the northern part of Mostar, there's a pond with cages with a capacity of 500 tonnes of fish of differing weight. On this location, there is also the production of trout from 300 grams to 2 kilograms, including trout with red meat. The company Norfish Blagaj offers to its customers young fish of Californian trout, 10 to 150 pieces per kilogram. Young fish of stream trout, 5 to 12 centimeters in length. Californian trout for consumption with the following weight: 200 to 2 kilograms with white meat, 500 grams to 2 kilograms with red meat. We also have processed and cleaned Californian trout, both with red and white meat, in the following packages: 200 grams to 2 kilograms of fresh fish packed in ice in synthetic fibre boxes of 5, 10 and 20 kilogram dimensions. We have 200 grams to 2 kilograms of frozen fish packed in vacuum nylon bags in cartons of 10, 15 and 20 kilograms. We also have fish fillets from 700 grams to 1.3 kilograms, frozen, vacuum packed and in cartons of 10, 15 and 20 kilograms. And finally, fish cutlets, 400 grams to 1 kilogram, frozen, vacuum packed and in cartons of 10, 15 and 20 kilograms. If you sometimes decide to visit Blagaj, a complete pleasure will await you after sightseeing when you drop in at the fish restaurant, which is famous for its Blagaj trout. There you can get fresh trout from the fish pond of Norfish non-stop. The capacity of this restaurant is 100 inside and 250 places outside in the garden. If you want to organise a lunch in this ecology oasis, we're offering you tasty fish specialities and satisfactory prices. If you're interested, we can offer you additionally the free tourist service of sightseeing natural and historical phenomena in this part of Herzegovina, the Buna Spring, the Dervish Monastery and the fortress of Duke Stepan. But if you're interested in the whole process of fish production according to strict ecological regulations, our personnel and experts will show you the production facilities of the fishing industry, Norfish. Therefore, if the road brings you to Mostar, visit Blagaj, meet its hospitable inhabitants, see all its ancient monuments, but also its mystical tekia. We promise you, you will not regret it.